are the Insiders, and man, are we excited to be here today.
It's a party, baby!
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday night, and it is a weekly wrestling wrap-up show with the Insiders, and as uncommon as they sometimes are, because we just don't get to do them all that much with everything we've got going on, we're happy to be here. It's always fun to do this. It's our roots of our show, and it's fun to come back to it. And, of course, as always, with me tonight is Jeff Watson. What's going on, Jeff? How are you, man?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. So we're ready to go. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's welcome some folks into the chat. We've got Dana is there. We've got the Coog is here. AAA Mania last night. Yeah, that's right. AAA Mania was last night. And New Japan was this morning. Wow. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. James Chadwick is here. Big Dan is here. I thought Rhea Ripley had a boyfriend or a significant other. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, I thought Rhea was with another wrestler, but I could be wrong. Odin's son is here. Wally is here. Alicia is here. We're doing well. Odin's son, I said already. Azan is here. Wes 420 is here. Hey, Wes. Brandon Lewis is here. What's going on, Brandon? And we've got Conrad. What's up, Conrad? Oh, Conrad said little under the weather. Yeah, that kind of thing is going around. I wasn't feeling well for a couple of days. My wife wasn't feeling well for a couple of days. So that's, unfortunately, there's stuff going around. So hope you get better quickly. Let's see. We got Sean Rousset here as well. And there is Mark. And we've got Dana. So, yeah. So we had a lot of stuff happen, of course, as always this week. Things going on. And we've got some things to talk about. So we're going to do the news. As always, we're going to do, of course, everyone's favorite segment, the airing of grievances. We have Sell or No Sell, which is our debate segment. If you haven't ever watched the show before, we've got What to Watch For. And we've got a book a wrestler, and we've got favorite moments of the week. And then, of course, we have the lighter side of the ring to end up tonight's show. So let's get started, Jeff, with some breaking news.
Let's do it.
All
Here
right.
we go.
See what we got. Well, this is a big topic, is it not? We have releases again from NXT, and there will be talk about this in the airing of grievances segment. Might be a little different than what you might be expecting, though. Little segue. So there you go, little preview. But yeah, we had NXT releases. They were announced on Friday. I think it was 10 people total that were released.
Oh.
Yeah, so 10 people total. I think the biggest surprise for me, or surprises for me, was Dexter Lumis, and oh my gosh. Of course, Dakota Kai were probably the biggest two shocks for me. I'm really surprised at Lumis because Lumis was involved in a lot of storylines with them. He was on TV almost every single week. Most recently the thing with Indy Hartwell and the whole love thing going on and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm not really sure what to say. Look, I'm sure a lot of these people will find a home somewhere else. It probably won't be very long that they will. Some of them are great athletes, and I'm sure, if they don't find a home with one of the bigger companies, they'll probably find some work and stuff with indies and things like that. Malcolm Bivens, of course, yes. Dakota Kai. And so, yeah, it's never good news when you hear this stuff. But on the other hand, and there's counterpoints and stuff to all of this. And Bully Ray talked about it a little bit on Busted Open, and he kind of said it's what people don't really realize is we get all this news, but it's part of the business. And what they don't realize is that when these people sign contracts, and he would know, he said they tend to go to the part about the money, which everybody does. Let's face it. You sign a contract, you're looking at the money. But he said they tend to go right to the page with the money, and they look over a lot of the other pages and they get really excited about the money and they sign. Which, I mean, who wouldn't? But he said that it's written into wrestlers' contracts that you can be let go at any time for any reason. So again, it's sad that happens, and I'll talk about this a little more later on. But Jeff, it's never easy. It's never easy. And listen, people lose their jobs in a lot of places, and these guys are in the spotlight. They're entertainers. And they're on TV every single week, sometimes with us. And then when we don't see them and we hear their names mentioned, we're fans. And ultimately it sucks. But we're in the business. It is part of the business.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for as long as the business has been around. It's an unfortunate part of the business, and you hate it for anyone that gets released. But the brighter side to that is they get to control their future.
Yeah.
And honestly, now with all of the wrestling that's out there, each of these people can find a place to go. I have no doubt. I can tell you right now, Malcolm Bivens will be on someone's program in 30 days when this is up. I promise you, he's gonna be on someone's show when those 30 days are up. Dakota Kai, same way. I was surprised by Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, me too.
I was surprised by him. I was surprised by Dakota Kai. I guess I would ask people in the chat, because some people look into this stuff more. I feel like someone else may be able to dig into this, but I want to know what his status was with Impact when he left, because I'd love to see him go back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jeff reminded me that he was an Impact, and yeah, I'd love to see him go back there too. I think he would do really well. But yeah, you just never know the status of these wrestlers. Like obviously, Cross and Scarlett didn't exactly have a good mutual parting of the ways with Impact. So that kind of came out when they were released, and that kind of said that they would never go back. So yeah, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, that's all I really wanted to say, is just that it's a part of the business that has been around for for forever. Unfortunately, now with with how much access there is, it's just we get information that we typically wouldn't. So I'll leave it at that.
You're right. Information is deadly. It can be deadly in the wrong hands, like anything. We're going to talk about this in our grievances segment, and because yeah, and we're going to come at it from a little bit of a different angle there. So we'll let it there, but we'll revisit it. And we'll see. So Dakota Kai would be perfect for Impact, and Harlan. Yeah, Harlan was another one. He was in that whole thing with Joe Gacy. So that was, I don't know. I guess they just figured Joe Gacy is better on his own. And they kind of just want him to do his thing. You never know. Listen, and this business is very, very fickle. And you could really be touted as kind of being like the next big thing. Harlan was at one point touted as could be the next Brock Lesnar when they first saw him. So it doesn't always work out for whatever reason. It just doesn't always work out. And the thing is, we don't know why. Ultimately, we don't, unless the wrestler comes out and tells us. And we're going to talk about that actually with someone who did. Mark said, when I saw this, I was a bit surprised, to be honest, because I would have thought that if there were going to be releases, it would have come from the main roster first. Remember, during the past couple of years, WWE had they would come in order, where the main roster and then NXT. They just may not have anyone right now from the main roster, and that's maybe what it is. You don't want to leave yourself extremely short of anyone. The other thing too is think of the good that happened from some of these things. Think of Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was released, and look at how he came back. Right? He, and the thing was, multiple wrestlers have said that they wrestled him when he was let go, and he mentioned to them, he's like, "Listen, I want to get myself back there." And I want to do really well, and I want to do, so he took it a different way. It's never easy. It's never easy. They're letting, their job is taken away from them. I mentioned it before. A dream is taken away and kind of pulled out from under you. So it's never easy. But again, we'll revisit it. So put a pin in this. We'll come back to it. So what's next, Jeff?
All right, let's see what is up next. We've got we go from that to Athena discussing the last few months of her WWE stint.
So remember, I said that sometimes you hear from them, and this was that situation where you heard from Athena as to why she didn't. She wasn't thrilled with what was going on there. And again, this is things too. Now you're hearing too that Dakota Kai wasn't going to re-sign. She didn't want to go back. So you're going to hear situations where it's not always the company. It could be the wrestler that just decides this isn't for them, and they want to try it somewhere else. So Athena talked about when she was in the tag team with Shotzi Blackheart. And they were really on a roll there and stuff like that. And remember, this was when that whole thing with Triple H, when Triple H was in charge, and then Triple H got sick, and then he went away, and so this was the whole thing in between when Vince really changed up NXT. And then the surprising thing, I guess, that she spoke about was that Vince, I guess, talked to them and said he wanted them to be sexier and dress like, oh my gosh.
Mandy Rose.
Thank you very much. Man dressed like Mandy Rose. And Athena kind of took that personally and said, I'm not wearing like fishnets, short fishnets and stuff like that. I cater to kids. I don't feel that I need to do that or have to do that. And she went into a lot more detail and stuff than that, but ultimately she just rejected it. She didn't want to do that. And listen, that's fine. Yeah, everybody's going to have a different way of looking at things. And, obviously Mandy Rose is okay with doing things like that. But it's not for everyone. So, this could have been, we all have heard the stories about if you kind of disagree with Vince, it's not usually a good thing. It's not usually a good outcome. Say what you want, he's the man in charge, and in any company, really. If you came right out and said, "Listen, I'm the," it could have been what happened to Wyndham too. Again, we don't know until we hear from him, and he could have come out and just said, "Listen, I don't like what you're doing with my storyline. I don't like to, I don't want that." We don't know, so yeah. But yeah, so that's what happened. Listen, again, she's a phenomenal wrestler. And she will definitely be picked up somewhere. Don't know where it'll be, whether it's AEW, whether it's Impact, whether it's that. She will be picked up somewhere. I have no doubt. She's phenomenal at what she does. And listen, that more than anything else, that'll show. And maybe she'll do some indie work a little bit, get her name out there again, and do some things like that. But she will be picked up. But good for her. She came out. She said her piece. She wanted to tell everybody what was going on, and hey, she didn't agree with it. She made a statement about it, and yeah, good for her, Jeff. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, anytime I want to caution people too when I say what I'm about to say. Um, I think that is very telling for people to speak out, because um, you get to see what their experience was. Um, Having said that, where I want to caution people is when you look at these interviews, realize that these people are speaking, in some cases, speaking from a place of hurt.
Mhm.
So when we use those clips, when we use those moments, think about the hurt that person may have been feeling. And this is mainly for the journalist and everything, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, like, don't try to profit off of someone's pain. And I feel like that's what's done all too often, is that people try to profit off of pain. And she spoke her truth. And if that's what was presented to her and she wasn't feeling that, then good for her for standing up. Um, that's what I feel about it. There's a lot more that I would go into, but I'm not gonna argue tonight. So, I but I think she's gonna be great no matter where she lands. Um, she's definitely going to enhance someone's women's division.
Without a
Um,
doubt.
Regardless of where she goes, she's doing a great job right now on the independent scene. She had a great match with Swerve Scott. I talked about that last week.
Yep.
She just won the Warrior Women's Championship. Um, she's doing fine. And when she lands wherever she wants to go, if she wants to go to a show that's on television weekly, she could
Yeah.
continue to do what she's doing now and be perfectly fine with it.
Yep.
But no matter where she goes, she's going to be a star, because I feel like she'll finally be used in a manner that makes more sense for her.
Very true. And to kind of go off of Jeff's one point, what I didn't like about this um, was the journalists pick and chose certain things she said and embellished it way, way more than it probably should have been. But again, that's the whole thing of you're taking the entire interview and breaking it down into one or two sentences, throwing it up there on your socials, and you're getting clicks from that particular sentence, which makes people think, oh my God, this is all she said. She completely went off, and it's been very, very, very misleading. And this is what I don't like about journalism today. It's very, for lack of a better term, it's very hate driven. And but I've said it before and I'll say it again, it gets clicks. That's what people do. And I saw it happen with so many different publications that got a hold of this, and they just right away picked out the one sentence, and just like, and this isn't probably word for word, but the one thing they put up was, Athena tells about her hatred for WWE. That's not what she said. So they're embellishing something that and changing the wording so that they'll get their clicks on their headline, which is garbage journalism. It really is. It's garbage journalism.
Yeah, it's not what I went to school for, that's for sure.
No.
It's
Mm-mm.
not about presenting the story and letting the subject of the story
Yeah.
tell their own story. It's not
Yeah.
about that. Uh,
Let people make
but
up their own minds. Don't put
yeah,
stuff out there to embellish to just get clicks on your channel.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I hate it. I really hate it. Hello, Jimmy. She was brave to do what she did because with Vince, you never know what's going to happen. Brandon Lewis, bonus baby said that would be nice, but it still won't make me wish Roxy had signed with anyone but WWE. Jody's here. What's up, Jody? How are you? Let's see. Can we just be honest and say if Ember goes to AEW, she will have one match on TV and then be on YouTube? Oh boy, here we go. The chat's getting feisty.
Just a little bit.
What else we got here? Speaking of clicks for hype, I don't even want. Listen, Coog, that dude right there, that dude, I don't even want to say his name. I could care less what he says. In fact, I blocked him because I don't care. That guy is out for. He is doing exactly what I said about the attention from garbage people in garbage journalism. That is all that guy is doing. What he said in his last little rant was hot garbage coming from a steaming pile of it. And that's all he is. He's a bitter man. He's pissed off. He's very bitter, and he just takes his anger out on everybody else. So I don't give him any attention. I don't talk about his posts because that's what he wants. That's absolutely what he wants. So, yeah, I'm not. I would never mention that idiot's name on the show. Never.
I'm trying to find the sound that I think of when I think of this person, and that's how much my soundboard respects him. Is that I can't even find the sound at this point to do what needs to be done with that name. But yes, here we go.
Here we go. Yep. He's just not even worth. Listen, he's not even worth it. He's just garbage, and he's going to continue to spew his garbage because nobody wants to hear. Nobody is bringing him onto their show. Whatever. He's not even worth talking about. Anyway, so Athena. All right, moving on, Jeff. What else is going on?
The Virtuosa set to defend her Ring of Honor title against Mercedes Martinez on Dynamite this Wednesday night.
Yeah, it should be exciting. They interviewed Deonna about this. Actually, had a pretty in-depth interview with her too. I would tell you to go and read it. She mentioned how she was a little taken aback that Tony didn't want that defended on the Ring of Honor show. But she did come out and say that there was some scheduling issues and stuff, of course, because she had Impact going on. And, so you really couldn't have. But you can tell she's excited. I mean, she's going to a big show on in front of a big audience on national TV to do this and to defend her title against Mercedes. And, these two women, I believe, Jeff, they wrestled before in Impact, right?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, so they're familiar with each other. And listen, we say it all the time. Deonna is one of, if not the best women's wrestler out there right now. And she's proven it time and time again. She was Impact's Wrestler of the Year. She held that title she held these two titles for quite a long time. And then they were talking to her about, where does she want to go with Impact? She mentioned that she wants to come back, have things come full circle for her, and she wants to wrestle Tasha Steelz for the title at Slammiversary, which she said she's really good friends with Tasha. So it's a good interview. But Deonna, listen, to come from where she did, and this is a perfect example of what we were talking about with the releases, to come from where she did, and look what she made of herself. Best thing probably that if somebody interviewed her and asked her about what happened to her when she got released, she'll probably say it was the best thing that ever happened to her. Because look at her.
Yep.
Amazing, Jeff. So yeah, it's gonna be good to see. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun match to watch. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a one-off. So, a lot of people are out there assuming things. Oh, she's going to. I don't think so. At least not the way she made it sound. So apparently, I guess the good news is that it looks as if Impact and AEW might be working together a little bit. And Deanna mentioned that when the men were having that little intertwining with Kenny Omega and stuff, that she was hoping that would happen. And she did also say that she hopes that whatever this is continues so she can have a match with Britt Baker. She really wants to wrestle Britt Baker. So
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's the women's turn to go through the forbidden door. Why not?
Mhm.
Why not? I wish they would have done it all together back when they were doing their thing, but you know what? It's all good. I'm happy to see it. We're gonna get there, Azan. Uh, Azan is producing our show.
I can see that.
On the
Yes.
chat. Uh, but no, it's we're gonna get there because that was interesting. But yeah, I mean it'll be good to see her on there, and I think her and Mercedes will tear it up again. They did an Impact, so
Mhm.
it'll be good. It'll be good. So it'll be good to see Deanna. And yes, Deanna is proof positive that if you end up in a situation where you're not being used properly and you know what you bring to the table, you have nothing to worry about because you will land on your feet if if you just hang in there and stay the course. And that's what she did. She ended up in Impact. Best thing probably that's happened to her professionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, she's considered one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Deanna's living proof that getting released or leaving WWE means shit and can still be one of the best professionals. Yeah. Listen, you could go from anywhere. It can be from anywhere that you
Mm.
just didn't fit in there, and that's okay. It's like changing jobs anywhere else. Sometimes you just realize that you don't fit in, and you'd be better moving on and trying, taking your talents someplace else. So, all right, man, what's next?
Hey, Conrad is saying,
Brian Myers is gone?
really?
I didn't see that.
I didn't either. If that's breaking news, that's breaking because I didn't see that.
That's really breaking news. Yeah, I didn't hear anything like that either, especially with wow. I'm trying to find it on Twitter.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull anything up here.
Wow. I did bring
Brian.
up the next slide, by the way.
All right. Well, there you go. Let's just move on because I can't see it. I was on Brian's Twitter site, but I didn't see anything on there. Damn. And you can't teach that. It was pretty simple to figure out by that little clue who was going to be the opponent, the mystery opponent that MJF was talking about this week. So saying he was bigger and he was stronger. And then, of course, the "you can't teach that" line coming out. So apparently, and talking about Impact and AEW, apparently Morrissey is going to move over as well and have a match. And of course, that's going to be with Wardlow. So two big guys going at it. And again, so we're getting a man from Impact going over, getting a woman from Impact going over. So things are happening. And people saying maybe it's Enzo. It is not Enzo. I saw that online. Like, why would they say he was bigger? And that'd be all a big joke. So, I really doubt it's Enzo. But listen, this guy's journey in Impact Wrestling, he came out and gave a really, really, again, if you guys don't watch Impact, he came out and gave a really heartfelt speech about when he was in one of the arenas that he was that Philadelphia that he was in when he did that?
Yep.
Yeah. Talking about the last time he was in that arena, and coming very much from the heart. And again, we're talking about another story where he was let go and he turned himself around. He turned his career around. He came back, looks great. and has been in some wonderful stories in Impact Wrestling. So, and again, people are jumping the gun. Oh, Impact's losing people, and Deanna's leaving, and Morrissey's leaving. Calm down. Just chill, because that's not. Listen, it doesn't matter that they're doing a little one-off here and there. I mean, it's good for them. They're gonna be seen by a different audience. And look, it's a win-win, because if the audience likes what they see, and then maybe they'll go and they'll get some people that'll go over and say, "Hey, look how amazing this guy's doing. I'm gonna go check his matches out over where he is at Impact." So it's a win-win. So good for Morrissey, and it should be a good match, Jeff. Him and Wardlow. That's a banger of a match.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I just I'm just really, really happy for this guy.
Yep.
That I'm really happy for him, because he not only turned his career around, he turned his life around.
Yep.
And I'm proud of him for that. And so that's awesome. So the fact that, if he does show up, which I can't imagine it's anybody else, but but if he ends up there, it'll be good for people to see him. And again, it's an opportunity. If people like what they see that Wednesday, then you're like, you know what? Maybe I can tune in on Thursday, this Thursday, and watch what they have going on.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see him get that opportunity.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about that. I was just trying to look for more stuff, and there's literally nothing. Like, I'm not seeing anything on Twitter unless I looked up Brian Myers' name on Twitter. I pulled it up.
Conrad sent it to me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it says Meyer wants to be his own boss now that his contract with Impact Wrestling has expired. Let's see here.
Oh, there it is. I got it. Yeah, he sent it to me too.
Noted that he's along for the ride with Cardona on the independent scene. Let's see. So that's what's out there right now.
Led the learning tree. Yeah, they're just kind of talking about stuff with him. And I signed a deal with Impact that expired, and now I realize I don't really, as much as I like Impact, I don't need that to be my thing. I can kind of come and go and work for whoever I choose, and please, I'll ultimately be my own boss, which is the best part. Well, okay. Yeah, listen, contracts are different today than they were too. You're not getting these companies signing people like they signed. When you watch I watched that Evil documentary with Hulk Hogan. You're not getting that. People aren't going to sign some dude to a multi-year 5-6 year deal anymore. They're just not. So that's different as well. And somebody mentioned Jonah. Maybe he's going to kind of be like Jonah, where they'll just maybe sign a year, sign a couple years, and just see where it goes.
Or even 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hate that I didn't bring this up as a topic tonight, but since we're here, honestly, if I were a wrestler at this point, especially if I was a hot commodity and a big time name, I would only sign 6-month contracts. I would stipulate that my contract be no more than 9 months, because if you want to create the most buzz around your name, let a big star in AEW or WWE get that kind of deal, and every 6 months, and then that 6 months hit, and it's like, oh man, where are they going to go next? Are they going to stay, or are they going to go here, or are they going to bounce from this place to that place? I feel like that will be awesome to create buzz around yourself.
Yeah. You said that about Wyndham. I mean, if Wyndham wanted to go somewhere, go to Impact for 6 months.
6 months. That's all I would do.
Like I said, he'd be the king of the castle. He literally would get there and be the king again. You would bring so many people watching that show on a Thursday to Access TV. I mean, it'd be amazing for them. So, but yeah, no matter where it would be. But that's smart idea. Smart idea. Anyway, another thing we're looking forward to. So, 2 Impact stars that will be on AEW this week. So, yeah, big stuff. All right, what's next, man?
All right, final topic is this forbidden door. I'll be honest with you. Anytime we get any kind of cross promotion, I'm all for it, especially these 2 promotions.
Yeah, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Listen, this kind of stuff is cool, and just it doesn't matter really who the companies are. When you're going to get stuff that you thought as a wrestling fan you'd never see before, it's pretty awesome stuff. It's like, for me, being a geek, and the equivalent would be having a movie with Marvel and DC both in the same film, which I think will end up happening, but it may not be in my lifetime. You'd have to get the movie companies to agree, and that's not always an easy thing, because they'd have to share that, like Warner Brothers or Discovery, they own them now, would have to work with Disney. So that's kind of difficult. But yeah, I mean, who knows? You just see, we live in different times. And back in the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that, you'd never see anything like this. It's becoming a little more common, and who knows? Can we totally say today that in, I don't know, 10 years that you can't have a WWE versus AEW thing? Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know if you can rule that out somewhere down the road. So we'll see. But this is interesting stuff, and I'm sure this is going to be a great pay-per-view. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this for sure, with the New Japan people. And listen, Bullet Club against the Elite. Who didn't want to see that? I mean, that was, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. So this is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people are going to get it. A lot of people are going to watch it, and it's going to be good stuff, Jeff.
I'll say this: I do not like Bleacher Report Live. I will be using Bleacher Report Live the day that this is on, because I have to watch this. I have to. I have to. The dream matchups. I have to. And yes, Azan White has said this earlier, but now Juice Robinson is in the Bullet Club.
Yeah, wow.
He showed up this morning, and I mean that's a game changer. That's a game changer. So,
what date is this?
Let me look up and see. I think it's June. Let me see. I know it's June. Let me
chat might know. What date is this?
They might know.
What date is this, chat?
June 26th. June 26th.
That is a Sunday. What's the start time?
Let me look and see. United Center is saying the 26th. 6 p.m. That's Central.
6 p.m. Eastern.
6 Central.
So that's what? 7 here?
7 here. Yeah.
Well, since Jeff's going to watch.
I have to.
And I was probably going to watch.
I have to.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should watch with others.
Yeah. Why not?
Maybe that'll be our.
Invite some others to.
Yeah, maybe that'll be our initial return to doing something with AEW.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. June 26th. Okay. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
All right. Well, it's that time, Joe.
Oh, it's going to be a fun one. And this has become, I mean, there's people on Twitter telling me they love this part of the show. So this has become a cult favorite, and what seems to be everybody's part of the show. So without further ado, here we go.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about.
Now you're gonna hear them. I love it. God, I love it. All right. It is the airing of grievances section of our show. And Jeff, you want to start? You want me to start? How do you want to do it?
I'll let you start, because what I have to say is short, sweet, and to the point.
All righty. Okay. Airing of grievances. So, and I said it was going to be a segue from the earlier part of the show with the releases. So, okay. I'm going to start this off by saying this. First off, this in no way, you guys all know how I feel about releases and stuff, because I got to a point where I was so very frustrated by it, I stopped watching a certain show for a while. And so you all know how I feel about it. But again, you know, you can look at things from two sides and not always look at things from one. So I'm going to talk about this like this. First off, again, this is nothing to say that I do not feel for any of the people who lost their jobs. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing for anyone to lose a job anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter why or how. It's not a good feeling for anyone. That said, if you grew up with wrestling in the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s to an extent, and let me just ask you all this question. Do you think wrestlers were released then? They were. We just didn't hear about it. So I think that we as wrestling fans sometimes are privy to way too much information. I could argue that the wrestlers themselves may not enjoy the fact that their names get released on lists. It would be akin to someone losing their job and right away, like, I mean, I've lost my job 2 times in my life. Both times it was because of cuts. But that would be akin to me having my name announced by a major company on all forms of social media saying Joe lost his job today. I certainly wouldn't want that. It's a bad enough feeling the way it is that you get a call or you get talked to or you get told that you're losing your job, let alone then get it put out there for everyone to see. And while I'm sure a lot of them are very gracious and will say, thank you so much for all your thoughts and, you know, your positivity, in a way, they probably don't really enjoy it that much, because who would? You're just coming off a thing that hurts, and yet, you know, then all of a sudden, boom, your name is all over the socials. And most people are probably saying kind things, but I'm sure there's probably the morons out there that are usually out there that are saying crap. And I love it. And the thing is, they're maybe not saying crap directly about that person, but then they start on the company. Oh, they suck. And again, like I said, none of us know. You get the list of the people who are gone, but none of us know the reasons why. None of us know that maybe they didn't want to be a part of them anymore. Maybe it was a mutual thing. Maybe it wasn't. We just don't know. We don't get all those details. We get a list. Okay, well, this one's fired, this one's fired, this one's fired. We get a list. That's all we see. And then everybody makes assumptions. Oh, well, this one was off TV for the longest time. They must have been in catering, and they just didn't have any use for them. Or Triple H is gone. That's what it is. Triple H, he's gone. He's gone. It's Vince. It's Pritchard. The fact of the matter is, we don't know. We don't know. And we're also not, for the most part, it gets into these big social media discussions where it gets to the point of where we're losing the point of the whole thing anyway. We're losing the point of the fact that people lost their jobs. And we're not feeling for them anymore. We're turning it into a fan argument. We're turning it into you see, this is why this company sucks. We're taking that person's livelihood and turning it into an argument. And I can bet you that they themselves, and you don't think they don't see it because they do, but I can bet you that they might be thinking, oh my God, like, I lost my job today. But yet these people are making it all about them, not about me. They're not saying things about me. They're making it about them and how, this person should hate someone else. I can guarantee you they don't want it that way. So I think it's, I just think that we are privy to just too much. We're privy to too much. We see things as they happen in today's world, and we don't need to, especially things like that. That's personal. And like I said, think about how you guys in the chat, those of you who have jobs or have had jobs, think about how you would feel if your boss fired you and then right away, 2 seconds later, your name's up on social media. And we just have small circles of friends, right? I mean, I know I don't have a wrestling-based circle of friends that the wrestlers do that, have thousands of people that follow them on Twitter. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. I don't have that. So it's only going to reach a certain amount of people for me. For them, it could reach like 100,000 people in a snap like that. And then not only are you leaving a job and maybe feeling a little bit bad about yourself, but you're going home and you're opening up your Twitter and your Twitter is destroyed with retweets, likes, DMs are flooded, and you're also seeing fans arguing. Not easy to deal with. And that's why I kind of feel bad for them. But my grievance is the fact that I think we're just privy to too much stuff. And I think that, look, it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop because the people who do it get paid to do it. So it's never going to stop. But it's not going to stop unless the companies themselves stop it. But you just can't. We live in a world where you just can't keep anything secret anymore. I mean, look at spoilers and stuff for movies. It's somebody posted something today for Doctor Strange 2 that came from a TikTok clip that someone went into a movie theater because it released already overseas and recorded seconds of the show on their TikTok. Boom. It got released on social media. It's all over Twitter. You literally can't go on to any kind of site. And I follow a lot of that stuff because I love that stuff. You can't open up your Twitter and not see it. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. That's my grievance. Go ahead, Jeff.
I have to give a shout out to James Chadwick because he said I told you this before the show, Joe, and I'm going to read what he says. What also pisses me off is where all these wrestlers, so-called fans, when they actually are in the company supporting them, but they only start when they get released. Sit your ass down and shut up. I'm gonna tell. I want to tell a quick story, real quick, if I may.
Go right ahead.
I worked for a very high profile athletic association at one point in my life, and I will leave it at that. It's a 4-letter association, and there you go. Um, things didn't end well. I'll just fast forward to the end. They didn't end well. It was a difficult time in my life. Um, a lot of change and transition. It was a very fast-paced environment. Um, it was a place where it was kind of cutthroat. And that's not my style. That's not who I am. That's not who I was then. So it didn't work out well. Joe, I had so many people say, man, you know what? That's absolute BS that things didn't work out, that they didn't try and help you out and they weren't more understanding and all these different things. Man, I had people sending me emails. Man, it's BS. You deserve to be here. I wish they would have put you and I would have wished they would have put you in a different department, whatever the case may be. I get all these things. And then finally one day I got the question that it was like I had to tell the truth then. The person said, how do you feel about all of this? After they gave me the whole, I'm sorry that this happened to you. You know, they should have done this, they should have done that. How do you feel about it, Jeff? I said, where the hell were all of y'all when I was there getting my ass kicked by this place? I didn't see you supporting me then. I didn't see you encouraging me then. You weren't in people's offices trying to encourage me or trying to stand up for me because you knew my work. Why did you have to wait until until I'm done there? Why? And no one could give that person couldn't give me a good answer for that other than they were unhappy in their job as well. Period. You know, they aren't happy in their job or they aren't happy with whatever situation. So they take this opportunity to use your misfortune as a way to gripe about something that if they just stood up for themselves, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Now, fast forward, I get to do things for people where I don't have to look at a rule book and say I can't, help somebody out. Thank God for that. So I'm happy because that honestly was the best thing that happened to me, not being there anymore. Because what unfolded after that was a lot of events in my life that showed me who people really were in my life, and I needed that at that point. So I'm not gonna get all preachy. I'm not gonna go completely there, but I'll just say, um, for the people that feel the need to jump on a bandwagon, like I need you to keep that same energy for people when they're in a company. So if the day ever comes that they're not in that company, you don't look like a hypocrite or you don't look like somebody that's just trying to get clicks and views and traction on social media because you jumped on a hot topic. Like you gotta stand up and go that hard for your supposed favorites or the people that you cheer for all the time, not just certain people when it's their worst day ever. Like there's sending support and encouragement, and then there's latching on to something that is kind of like a parasite in some ways. Don't be that person. And that's all I have to say about that. I got a little passionate there. I'm sorry.
All good,
Uh,
dude.
but It's just care. If you're going to care all the time. Be that passionate about them. Every week that you don't see that person on TV, hey, where the heck is so and so on TV this week? Tweet it. You want to use your social media voice to be heard? Tweet it. Enough people see it. You got some traction. You get some traction, maybe some things start rolling. Just saying.
That's a perfect example. I mean, use your Twitter for good things. Tweet their name out there and tweet at the company that they're with, and be like, "Hey, at whoever, why isn't this person on the show? Why haven't we seen them on the show?" People do it for Alexa Bliss. I've seen a ton of people doing it. Where's Alexa? Okay, cool. But listen, Alexa's a big name. Alexa's a huge name in the business. Listen, if WWE lets Alexa go, Alexa will have a job the very day after her contract expires. I can tell you that. So she's a huge person in the business. But, some of these people who maybe aren't, I guess a good example of what Jeff's saying is, how many people talked about Dakota Kai?
Not enough.
How many people talked about Dexter Lumis?
Not enough.
Right. So, like Jeff said, are we bandwagon jumping to get our own channel a lot of likes and clicks and attention? Or are we really interested in the well-being of a human being that lost their job? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Prime example, Eva Marie, YW, rehire, can't do promos, can't wrestle, gets released, and then damn you WWE for wrestling Eva Marie. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Yeah, but like I said, it doesn't always have to be about an argument. It doesn't always have to, especially when something bad happens to a human being, a person. Because when it comes down to it, yes, they're entertainers. Yes, they're larger than life, but they're people. They have families. They go home. They eat dinner. They talk to their kids. It happened to them. So do you really want them looking at their social media, which is supposed to kind of take them away from stuff, and seeing a big argument happening now? Well, your company sucks. No, my company sucks. Because of something that happened to them, that's a horrible part of their life right now. I doubt it. So there you go. That is the airing of grievances for this week. Again, it's always good to get things off of our chest. So it's good stuff. If you guys do listen to Busted Open, I know some of you do, go and listen to the episode. I think it was Monday. No, I think it was Tuesday's episode. And you'll hear what I was telling you about Bully talking about wrestlers' contracts and so on and so forth. I kind of, Busted Open can be a little bit of a weird show because a lot of them are really supportive of certain people, and some people kind of seem like they're not. Bully kind of seems to me as a guy who just doesn't give a shit, and he just kind of fires off his opinions about anything. If he doesn't like it, he says he doesn't like it. And so I kind of like listening to him because of that. So he came out with some really good points about this whole topic too. So, all right. Mark says, thanks. We all needed to hear this, especially for the team and the organization I work for. One of their biggest supporters, been with them since 2001. I love what I do. Right now, they're having issues with chairs, and we are trying to get awareness for what happened to them. Derek's here. What's going on, Derek? How are you? Deanna? I don't think I said hello to Deanna. Deanna, hello. How about treating wrestlers like human beings? Should treat everybody like human beings. Yeah. It shouldn't be a thing. Really shouldn't be a thing. Alicia said, Vince. Alicia said, I think Vince needs to stop living in the prehistoric age and stop treating all wrestlers like objects, especially the female wrestlers. I know I will ask WWE, where is Pete Dunne? Kane. Hello, Kane. If you tweet asking if someone is not an AEW, then you get attacked by AEW fans saying they're fine. It's fine. They're on dark. Positive criticism is not allowed. Like I said,
I honestly think it sometimes goes both ways, though.
it does.
Like, unfortunately, I get what you're saying because trust me, I've gotten it from both ways.
Yeah.
I'll say something on here one week, and then someone will create a fake Twitter account and call me an AEW hater and all
Yep.
this stuff. And then I'll
Yep.
say something critical of WWE, and then that same person creates another fake account and says that I'm a WWE hater. So either way, like I'm a WWE homer some weeks and an AEW homer other weeks. So I get it, but I've gotten that same stuff from shoot. I was critical of something of Impact one week, and it wasn't anything big. I just said they need to get the crap together when it comes to their technology, which I will say they have.
Yeah.
Kudos to Impact Wrestling. They've done a great job.
They
Great
figured out how
job.
to start their shows on time. Yay!
Great job. You guys deserve you guys deserve some kudos for that because it was real spotty there for a while. But it's honestly one of those things where you know I remember back in the day having disagreements with people about wrestling, about sports in general, and we could just agree to disagree.
Yep.
And you guys are getting a bonus grievance today. We agree to disagree. Um, you know, I'm not gonna like the same things you like, and vice
Yep.
versa. Like there are gonna be things that we just don't vibe with. It's just gonna happen that way. It's not that serious. My my grandfather, he in his infinite wisdom used to say, at the end of the argument, does somebody have to die?
It's true.
No, it's professional wrestling. Okay. I try to apply that logic. Like at the end of this, are we gonna have to come to blows? Is somebody, are we gonna have to duel? Is something gonna have to happen? Okay, no, it's just an opinion about wrestling. Cool. Have a great day. Or there's this lovely thing that Joe utilizes that I need to do a better job of utilizing.
The block
That's the
button.
freaking block button.
Yes.
Use it. Use it. So, all right, I'm really done with my other grievance. I guess that was my real grievance this week.
I tell everyone, and I'm proud of it, that I am the Negan of the block button. I use that button like Lucille with Negan, baby. I have no qualms about swinging that sucker. When more some of that comes up, and I could tell this person, this moron, just wants to fight. I'm like, boop, gone. See ya. There's nothing like and there you go, Jeff. You're talking about our grandparents. My grandmother used to tell us when you really want to stop an argument, just and this must have pissed off. I don't know if she did this with my grandfather. I kind of doubt it because they didn't really never argued much. My grandmother and grandfather, but she used to turn around and say, "You talk to a wall because I'm done talking to you." So basically, she ignores him or whoever. But that is the worst. The worst thing you could do to someone is when they're writing a big heated thing and they're ready to get going and they're getting fired up and they want to argue with you, is go boop and just shut them off.
Done.
No more. That is so frustrating because you just want to state your opinion and keep stating and stating and stating and firing that other person up. You hit that block button. Oh man, does that piss them off? That makes them even worse. God only knows what they do after that. They must maybe slam their computer desks or throw stuff at that point because then they can't get the last word in, and that's really what they want to do. That's really what they want to do is get in the last word, and if you don't allow it. Ooh, people don't like that at all. All right. Well, there you go. That's the airing of grievances this week. And you got a bonus. You got a bonus grievance. So there you go.
Got a bonus. Yeah, you got a bonus.
You got a bonus grievance tonight.
Are you looking at that DM?
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw that C sent it. Let me see what it says.
Holy moly. That's some news for tomorrow.
Interesting note. This is not a WWE shop on Euroshop. If you now search for Bray, his name is back on suggestions. This was removed after his release. Wow. Interesting. And yeah, he was. Like there was nothing of him on the shop. Nothing. Nothing at all. Very interesting.
Oh, hold on. We got something for that.
I wonder, you know what you guys need to do that are in the chat is the people from the US. Go check the US one. While we're talking, go check the US shop and see if the same thing is there. That's interesting. Yeah, it is breaking news. Yes, it is.
That's right.
There you go.
Oh, I'm gonna use the freaking the graphic tomorrow night. Don't you worry.
That's right. Tomorrow night is Abby's Window at 6:00 p.m. with Jeff and Jody. So make sure you join them, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more talking about that as well. His name is back on the list. He might have re-signed. Oh, there goes James Grant. You got to think they're adding his name back into the system for a reason. Surely I checked the WWE shop. Nothing on it. Twist it on them with a compliment. They shut up quick, said Deanna. Yeah, you can do that too. Is turn it around. And a lot of people are like, I think that dude that blocked me, that no DQ idiot that James Chadwick got into with this morning, same guy. He's a real piece of work. All I said to him was, because I was like, no, this is going nowhere. And he's just trying to bait me into arguing with him. All I said was, hey, man, have a great rest of your day. That's all I said. And all of a sudden, I go back, the comment is deleted, and he blocked me. And I'm like, yes, I got him to block me. And all I said to him was, have a nice day. So see, you're right. It does. They get mad because you ruined it. You ruined their whole argument. It's on the Euro shop, but not on the US shop. Very odd. Okay. Well, there you go. Thanks for checking, James Grant, and letting us know. All right, Jeff. Let's go to our debate segment, I believe, is next, correct?
Yes. It is time.
Let's roll on.
To ring the bell.
Of course, I have to do Rocky. You want to ring the bell? Ding, ding. It all goes back to Rocky. Remember that. All right. Topic number 1.
Hey, we love our segues, right?
We do. So far, we segued from the first segment to the second segment, and now we're going right to the third. Topic number 1, it's better to allow contracts to expire rather than conduct releases. Very interesting. Chat, play along. Jeff, what are you saying? Sell or no sell?
Sell or no sell? This is a tough one, man. This is a really tough one because I can make an argument for both, but they ultimately achieve the same thing, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna say
I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna sell it, but here's why. Here's why I'm gonna sell it. Because once the contract is done, it's done. There's no 90-day clause. There's no there's none of that. Once the contract is done, it's done. I can go wrestle if I have a contract with XYZ promotion and ABC wants to sign me. If ABC has a show on the same day that my contract expired, I can go wrestle that night on that show. I don't have to worry about it. Now, there are a few cases, and I see some people bringing this up, where releases are necessary, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
I think, if there are some legal troubles, if there are certain things that are done that violate code of conduct policies, absolutely. But the crazy thing is, with some of these contracts, with some of these contracts, they're going to be paid out anyway. Certain ones, um, like the releases, you basically get the severance package, so to speak. I guess.
Yeah.
I'll have to find out, for sure from a couple people who might know. But yeah, I would sell this. Just I think I like it a little bit better just to allow the contract to expire.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna sell it too. Um, just for the mere fact, and Jeff already brought up some great points. The only thing I'll say is if you're gonna go the opposite direction, and if you're gonna go with releases, I think they should be done with the individual, and also, and I don't know, maybe this wording needs to be put in people's contracts. Let it up to the individual whether that gets released to the public. And if you don't want it out there, it doesn't have to be out there. Not that once it's done, your name's automatically going to go up in a list on Twitter. Let them have that choice where, no, I don't want it to go out there. I'll take it. Fine. I'm good. I'm moving on. I'll go do my thing, but I don't want my name out there. I don't need people to know. So, but yeah, I'm going to agree. I just think we hear about expiring contracts very, very seldom. You hear it every now and then, and just like we heard about Brian Myers, because Brian Myers said it. The individual came out and talked about it, which then when you look at it that way, do you think it's better? Well, sure, because at that point, now they can market themselves. Now they can say, hey, my time is over. I no longer need to be, just with that particular company. I'm out there and, get themselves over and put it out there that, hey, I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to do that, but I'm no longer under contract, so I can kind of do my thing. Yeah, I just like it better. So let's see what people are saying. Sell because you don't have news hitting social media and you don't have to wait 30 or 90 days. Yeah, no, I agree with Jeff too with the no the clauses are stupid. If you're gonna let somebody go, damn it, just let them
go. Let them go.
Just let them go. And I get it. Big corporations and stuff have that too. The one job that I left of my own accord, there was supposed to be a clause like that. If you go to a competitor, you have to wait a certain amount of time. I just kind of lied. I just told them. They asked me, "Oh, where are you going?" Oh, I don't know. I have no plans. I knew full well where I was going, but I just say, I don't know. I had no plans. And technically, they're not, in my case anyway. Now, wrestlers, they may very well because there's more money involved. But in my case, who cares? They don't care. You're gone. They don't. So, but yeah, I do like that. Get rid of that. That doesn't have to be a thing. That's another situation like we were talking about before too, where if it's a conduct thing, then I could get it. Then I totally understand. If it's a conduct thing and that person is gone because of conduct, then they should be a little bit of a penalty. Then okay, you should have to wait 90 days until you can wrestle somewhere else because you are detrimenting yourself. You're doing things that are jeopardizing your own career. So now maybe there's a little bit of a punishment. But other than that, I wouldn't enforce that. I wouldn't enforce. So why prevent somebody from going out and getting a job? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Dane is talking about the Usos. Yeah, that's conduct. That's detrimental conduct. That's kind of a different thing. And that in contracts and stuff like that. That's a different story. So, all right, go ahead, Jeff. What's next?
All right, next topic. With the amount of wrestling content available, wrestling is oversaturated now. Man, heavy hitting questions.
All right. These aren't fluff questions tonight. These are good ones.
Can tell what type of mood I was in when I came over to you.
Wrestling is oversaturated right now. Wow.
I want to see what I'm so ready to see what the chat is gonna say.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what people are gonna say. I
This-
need folks other than saying no sell or no sell. Like honestly, why is it oversaturated if you're saying it's oversaturated?
with the amount of content available, wrestling is oversaturated. I'm gonna no sell it. I'm gonna no sell. But this is coming from me, and I I can determine a schedule to watch what I enjoy and to skip things that maybe I don't. So I'm okay with the content. There's a lot of things out there, sure. We're living in a time of wrestling, like I said right now, where there's wrestling almost every single day. That never was the case before. And then the social media stuff, which is constant. Um, Now, looking at it from another standpoint, where we were just saying a little earlier, sometimes we get too much information. That I will agree with, because there's just things that we don't need to know. But as far as just content that's out there, I can limit whatever I don't want to watch. I can make priorities of things. I've done that all my life. I've done that with everything. I've done that with TV shows. I've done it with movies that I wanted to see. I've done that all my life. So I can make time for what I really enjoy. And if there's something that for some reason it's on the same day or something like that, I can record it and watch it later when I'm doing something else. So it's tough to keep up with everything. And if you're just a wrestling fan in general, James Chadwick is talking about. I don't know, James, how you do it. I literally don't. If there's less, I'd have more time for sleep. I don't know how you do it, because there is just so much. There's pay-per-views almost every single weekend. There's the indie stuff. There's all the big companies with their shows on TV and on YouTube, and there's just so much that it's hard. But see, I have to, while I enjoy wrestling, and James Tommy Dreamer apparently is like you, and he watches nothing but wrestling, 24/7. He watches baseball too, I think, during baseball season, but watches nothing but wrestling. So I don't do that. I will watch my shows. I'll tape the ones I wanted to see. I'll watch them, but I have other things that I like. So for me, nah, I don't think we have too much. I think it's a good variety for a lot of people to watch different things that they really want to watch. So go ahead, Jeff. What do you think?
Man, sold it. A lot of people are no selling it in the chat. I'm gonna no sell it. Um, I'm gonna no sell it because of this, and I know I'm going hard in the paint on the fans tonight, and I apologize for that. I really do. But it gives people more options so that they don't get siloed, and that's the thing. Like I love fans like James Chadwick, and a lot of the people who watch us, who rock with us. I love you guys because you watch multiple things.
Yep.
You watch different things that have different feels to them. Um, and that's great because when you get stuck, when you get stuck in one spot, it can get stale. And if you never give yourself an opportunity to look outside of that, you think it's only one way. That's it, just one way. There's so many different ways to do this thing that we love called professional wrestling, that so many different companies do well, that if you just give them an opportunity, if you just sit down and watch for a week, then your whole world of professional wrestling and what you thought you knew about it will change. It'll shift. And now you've got something else that you can say, hey, you know what? I'm not feeling this promotion this week. They're kind of diddling around with this storyline and I don't really like that. So I'm gonna rock with this one for a little bit and see how that goes. So I think it's just really good for fans to have options so they don't get stuck. Like a lot of times we get stuck. We get into that mindset of, there's only one. No, there are many. There are many, and like Deanna said, there are a lot of companies that aren't even on TV
Yeah.
that you have to get, web subscriptions. Like honestly, if folks get a chance, get IWTV a subscription to that. I think it's like $10 a month. It's great because you see so many different independent promotions. So but yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great that you get options.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. People are saying no sell because other than sports, there's not much on TV. A lot of sitcoms, repeats. Sell, says Conrad. I think it's impossible to watch everything, but you are able to have options to pick and choose what you want. Big Dan says sell. I think too much wrestling can lead to wrestling burnout. However, there is a bit of no sell also because you do have viewing options. I don't watch SmackDown as often, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Not everything is going to be great all the time. SmackDown, it's funny, isn't it? 3 months ago, we were all saying SmackDown was the far superior show. Far superior. Now it's turned around. Now everybody's saying SmackDown's kind of stale, and Raw is now the one to watch. So it's funny how it goes. So yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Take a little break from one of them, watch the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Bonus Baby says no because I get to see guys like Moxley and Cardona do one thing in AEW and Impact, but then do something totally different in GCW. True. Yeah, good point. No sell because you can really watch any other type of sports besides pro wrestling. No sell said the Coug having multiple options is great for fans, not just in the US, but in Mexico, Japan, the UK, and all over the world. You don't want monopolies in a business. Let's see. I'm scared to say I love AEW Dynamite and Impact Wrestling. WWE fans will be mean. I'll just block them, Dana. Like what you like. For general TV, no sell because many other places do not get big TV time, so they get skipped by the general fan. James says, let's be real. I need a life. Deanna says, with all the companies doing shows on the net, I can see how some might think of that, but you watch some things at another time. Let's see. I think we also forget, too, that there are some people who have grown up only knowing one company being at the top. Oh, yeah. That's how it was for the last, decade or more? Yeah. Case in point, a lot of folks don't watch AAA Mexico and US, but I love sharing that Lucha Libre talent and shows with other fans who are not regulars. Yeah, cool. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. With all the releases, you have to keep an eye on other places to see favorites. Michael King still glad wrestling is still around. RK Shuttlesworth said, now I have a hard time watching NXT. I used to watch it all the time. Well, that's what it is. Like, not everything's going to be for everybody. And that's where choices are okay and good, because then you don't have to be stuck with just the one show. So Derek says no sell. All right. Well, there you go. Good topic. What's next?
All right. Next and final topic. Oh man. If you were starting a wrestling promotion, name one man and one woman to start it with.
Well, we'll have to choose, and then we'll have to sell or no sell it, I guess.
We can choose and then just say why.
Yeah.
This isn't really a sell or no sell.
Yeah, it's kind of just a do your own thing. Wow, this is
open-ended debate.
It's an open-ended debate. There you go.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Oh man, and I'm on the hot seat. I get to start first. Yike. See, wrestling chimes right in, and you can almost kind of know what he was going to say. Shocker. Bray Wyatt and Liv Morgan, says C. Man, is this a tough question with all the people out there. My gosh. James Chadwick says Deanna and MJF. Conrad says Roman and Deanna. Another one for Deanna and MJF, Derek Fleming. Sean says Wyndham and Bianca. Boy, oh boy. Bonus Baby says Roxy is the woman. Holy cow. Well, my woman, I think I'd go with Deanna. I think I agree with people in the chat.
Yeah.
She's just been too damn good. And I think she's at a point where she's carrying, easily, she can easily carry a women's division in a company. So I think I would take Deanna. One man to start a promotion with. My gosh.
It's tough.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Because, like, I mean, the names that are out there, and I mean, we're going with current here. Let me look at what else the chat's saying because I'm just trying to put it off. James is saying Bray Wyatt and Alexa. Bianca for the ladies. The men too have to think, says Kenny. Jeff saying Wyndham. Man, oh man, oh man. Men for me. I'm not going to go with the obvious choice here because I think a lot of people are going to say it. But again, my fandom kind of plays with me a little bit here too. So, and I was never a fan of the one that everybody's saying in the chat. So I can't pick him, even though maybe I should. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, for what he's doing right now and what he's done in the past, this is going to be an unpopular choice. But some of the things that he is doing now and what other best word can I say to use it? The balls that he had to do what he did, Cody Rhodes.
Ooh.
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Because I like the fact that he could have stayed where he was and been perfectly fine. But the fact that he had the guts to leave when he was on top, you don't see that happen much. To go and conquer another thing that he wanted to conquer in his career. So Wyndham's a great choice. Roman Reigns is a great choice. I'm going to go with Cody. So there you go. There's my two. Cody and Deanna. What you got?
It's easy for me. Like,
Okay.
it's easy, real easy for me. I want to go with Deanna. I do. I love her.
Yep.
But I'm gonna roll with Thunder Rosa.
All right. Not a bad pick at all.
Because listen, I think Deanna could do this too, but she also has an eye for talent.
Yeah.
And you can tell that with her own promotion. So imagine if you said, okay, now Thunder Rosa, you're here. We want you to bring in people that you feel could work well with you and put on great matches and great programs. She could do that because she has an eye for it. And I'm going to go with the newly crowned Impact champion, Josh Alexander.
I was thinking Josh too. Yeah.
Honestly, I have to go with Josh because I need someone that's going to persevere. And when the rigors of tours and and everything come around, I know that I've got a person that's a workhorse in the ring. They can talk, but then they can also carry the company. They can go out there and put on great matches week in and week out. I need that from my superstars. So those are the two people that I would pick. I know mine is a little bit different and unconventional, but hey. I felt like that's where I had to go with those two.
Both great choices. But I mean, Thunder has Mission Pro Wrestling, which is
Mhm.
essentially like her own promotion. Cody started a show. Josh, yeah. I mean, you know, because like Jeff said, the reason Jeff gave, perseverance, a guy who can carry a company, the backstory that Josh has, not many have. So, wow, let's see what everybody's saying. Joey Janela and the woman could be a light tube. God. Roman Reigns and Britt Baker, says Dana. Okay. Thought Wyndham, said RK Shuttlesworth. Great question. You outdid yourself with that. Yeah, it was a good question. Good questions tonight on the debate segment. Wyndham, purely for a story-based event. Female Deanna, she's super talented no matter what you put her in. Jeff saying Seth. Yeah, good name too. Seth Rollins, Wyndham, Vincent, Alexa, Rosemary, Ali Catch, and Liv Morgan, says Jason Stoffer. Brian Danielson and Becky, says Bonkers LFC. It's current. We're going current bonus, baby. Sorry, I didn't see your question before. Women would still be Roxy, but you're talking all time. Oh God, all time would even be harder.
Oh yeah,
that would have taken us an hour alone, if not more, probably.
Yeah.
Tag teams, Penta and Phoenix. You want a wrestler who's not wrestling anymore. The Undertaker to run the company and Bianca to lead the wrestlers. Minus the injury, I'm going outside the box with Moose, says Kenny P. Yeah. If I'm starting a stable, Wyndham, Gacy, Vincent, and Malachi, said Deanna. Thinking outside the box, I could also go Psycho Clown and Taya Valkyrie. RK Shuttlesworth saying Sue Young, Chris Jericho, and Asuka, says Brandon Lewis. I'm smiling at this topic because it feels like you're starting to the Book of Wrestler segment early. Deanna, and if he wasn't injured, still wrestling now, I would go with Kenny. What about Rosemary? I love Rosemary. Absolutely love Rosemary. Sure, why not? Wyndham and Woman Wyndham. For my creative, I'd pick Triple H, HBK, and The Undertaker. I would add Rock and Moose. You're going, a lot of people going classic. I would never peg Josh as this when he came to Impact. I thought he was strictly a tag guy. I'm glad I was wrong, says Bonus Baby.
And
good stuff.
That's the other reason you pick him too, because if you put him in charge of booking like it used to be in the old days, he has an eye for that tag team talent too.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Good stuff. All right. Good topics this week for Sell or No Sell. Absolutely. Thank you all for playing along. That's awesome. All right. I think we're going on to what to watch for.
Yeah, what to watch for. We got a couple things coming up.
We do.
Next weekend.
There are a couple pay-per-views coming up, and we'll be doing both of them next week. So another go-home show for us this coming Thursday on Impact Wrestling. Seems like we just said that because we've got Under Siege coming up this coming Saturday. So make sure you join us for, the go-home show on Thursday night, of course, if you are Impact people and you come out and watch. The go-home show after the Impact this week will be predictions. And then on Saturday, we will be back with Under Siege. So make sure you join us for that. Some great matches on this thing. We've got a rematch. We've got Taya Valkyrie and we've got Deonna Purrazzo. So that is a rematch that we've got happening. We've got Tasha Steelz versus Havoc for the Knockouts World title. We've got Impact World Tag Team titles. You guys all know who this is. The Violent by Design versus the Briscoes. And we have, if that wasn't enough, for the Impact World title, we've got Josh Alexander against Ishii for the Impact World title. So, Bullet Club versus Honor No More. That's a stacked card, guys, and this is not a big pay-per-view.
Not a big show.
It's not a big pay-per-view, and it's got big pay-per-view card. So don't miss this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And there's a lot of things happening. Them boys, yes, the Briscoes. A lot of people thinking they're going to have those titles by the time Under Siege is over. So we'll see. I know Conrad would probably be very happy about that. But, hey, Just saying.
As
Ishii is
long
phenomenal.
as long as Diener doesn't take the pin, I think he'll be all right.
He'll be okay with it.
I
Yeah,
think so.
probably.
I
You're
think so.
probably right. But not only do we have this,
Mm.
we have a Sunday pay-per-view. WWE Backlash is on Sunday. So we will have this as well. Start times for both should be 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be here for this on Sunday. What I find most interesting now with this one is no more unification of the tag team titles.
Yeah.
You really have to love WWE sometimes, and just how they just expect you to like. And I could totally see. I got to do my Vince voice. I haven't done it in a while. Totally see Vince in the back office going, Vince, do you really want to unify these belts now? Because you've got two really hot teams here, and Randy's really having a good time. You know, you heard his speech last week, right? How saying he's having a really good time in RK Bro, and you know what do you? Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Drew and Roman get involved, and everyone's just gonna forget. They're gonna forget. They're not gonna remember. Once they see Drew and Roman get involved, we're gonna make a 6-man. And then the fans are just going to forget the whole thing. They're just going to forget there was ever any mention of the word unification. He's done it before. So apparently,
Oh gosh.
there is no more unification. And it's so funny because they even said it on the announce team.
Like, wait, what?
Michael Cole's like, what happened to the unification? So listen, I think ultimately it's the right idea.
Yeah.
Because again, and maybe this came about because of what Randy said. They keep wanting to go forward with Riddle and maybe split those two off and make Randy the heel again. And I just don't think Randy wants to do it. And you kind of have to keep that dude happy. You know, you don't want to piss him off because he's, you know, he just came out and said on national TV that he's going to be that guy who's going to stay with the one company for his entire career. You don't want to upset him. So I think ultimately it was the right move.
Yeah.
I think they decided Backlash is the stage for it. They'll do it, just not yet.
They'll
Yeah,
do it.
you could be right. They'll do it somewhere down the road on a bigger pay-per-view event. But yeah,
SummerSlam is perfect for it. If you're gonna do it at SummerSlam.
you're right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Give it a little more time, you know, but yeah, I don't think this was the time for it either. And you don't even really know how the thing with Roman is working out all that well because what are you going to do with both of those belts? And now, of course, it looks like he's going to go up against Drew. So, yeah, so probably a good bet either way. But yeah, this should be interesting, and we're going to have a culmination of what I think will be the final battle between Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, which is probably a good thing too. Probably time to move on from that and going forward. So, but yeah, Backlash is stacking up to be a pretty decent little show, and that 6-man tag ought to be a really good match too. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, what do you think, Jeff?
I still think it's gonna be good. Yeah, Mark just had the same reaction. Like, wait, what? No unification? What will they do then? Mark, they're going to do a 6-man. It's going to be the Bloodline, the Usos and Roman Reigns going up against RK Bro and Drew McIntyre in a 6-man. So that's what's gonna happen instead of the unification match. It just kind of happened. It just kind of happened on Friday night. You know, it was just thrown in there kind of quick when they kind of were doing their thing, signing the contract. So yeah, that's. I still think it's gonna be a great show though. Like I do. I think it'll be a good show. It's not what we wanted, because we were told we were gonna get something else. But I'm fine with it. I'm
good. It's all good. They've done this before. It's not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last. Yeah, Big Dan's talking about holding off Roman. The rumor is, or the word is that Roman is going to have Drew as an opponent, and a lot of it is due to the fact that they're doing the pay-per-views they are doing overseas. Because, and that makes sense. Drew being from that area can now go for the title against Roman when they're over there. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So anyway, I think it's going to be a fun show. Backlash doesn't interest me enough to watch this time around. Says bonus, but yeah, cool, dude. Like we said earlier, it's all good. Spend your hard-earned time on whatever it is that you think is going to entertain you the most. All good. All right. That is what to watch for. And I think what we've got next. What do we got next? I lost my text. There it is.
We're booking a wrestler.
We are booking a wrestler. And oddly enough, we made another segue, and I didn't even mean to.
Didn't even mean to do it, but we did it, man. We did it.
So it is time to book a wrestler. And this week, the wrestler we're going to book is going to be Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior is the guy we're going to book. So again, you guys in the chat, you can play along and book a wrestler for Drew McIntyre. Well, obviously, it seems as if they're going to have him, of course, go up against Roman. So right now, he's a face. He was for a long time now when he was carrying the company when he was champion through the COVID months. And it looks like he's going to stay that way, at least for a little while. So I guess for me, the question I think about Drew McIntyre is he the type of guy that you can have carry your company? I say, yeah. So I think I like the way WWE is booking him. I think that I'm okay with it because, he comes out, he appeals to younger folks for sure with the sword and the way he's doing the whole Highlander kind of a thing that he has been doing. I think that's okay. And he may end up fighting a retired boxing champion at somewhere down the road too, from what we've heard. But is there anything I'd change about him? I wouldn't be totally upset with if he gets away from the Scottish Warrior thing at some point and kind of goes into something similar to what Roman did. Not necessarily that kind of a thing. I'm thinking along the lines of a character who I can see Drew coming out in suits every week, coming out in a suit coat. Nice, suit, and almost, oh my gosh, almost like a quasi Ric Flair. If, maybe at some point he gets that championship, and when he does, his head gets a little big, he gets a little more cocky. And he comes out, and maybe he's going to do something similar. Maybe he comes out comes out to the ring with maybe he has a valet, or maybe he has just a couple of women walk out to the ring with him. Kind of almost a thing, Jeff, that they were trying to do with Bobby Lashley. Do you remember when they were doing the stuff with MVP? They were bringing him to the ring, and they'd have that whole thing in the ring set up, and they had the women coming out there with Bobby and things like that. I can see them doing that with Drew. And because he's got the look, and I could totally see, tie off the hair in the back into a ponytail, pull it up, make it into a ponytail, have him come out in a suit and tie. And again, be maybe a little bit of a tweener. Don't make him a complete heel. I don't think he needs to turn heel, but give him a little more cocky. If he wins that title back, make him a little more cocky. Again, have him come out that way, have him come out with some women and stuff like that. Do that whole thing up, because I think he could play that role really, really well if you give him something like that. So just a little bit of a change. I don't think you need anything major, but if he wins the title back, you got to change it up, I think, a little bit. Maybe ditch the sword thing, the Scottish Warrior thing. I get it. We've seen that before. But maybe make him little, just a touch more cocky, gets the belt. Now he's a little more like corporate, maybe, I guess, maybe is the word. So that's how I'd go with him. James says Drew needs to go back to being the Scottish psychopath. Let's see. What else is he saying here? Let's see. Anybody else? Tyson Fury, yes. What if they? No. Okay, go ahead, Jeff. What are you thinking, man?
What I would do with him, I think certain people make sense in certain areas, and I don't think you always have to have this guy in a title picture because he's proven that he can carry a company, and now I think he can do some different things. I would like to see him in a darker role,
Oh, okay.
something where he goes on a losing streak and he becomes jaded, he becomes bitter, he becomes sadistic. He begins to seek out one by one the people that have defeated him, but he takes it out on others as he's going along. He becomes just a mean, nasty heel. And you know what? Instead of that darn sword, come down to the ring on a motorcycle.
Ooh.
Drew on a motorcycle, a renegade type that's seeking vengeance. I'd be good with that. And just and have him work his way. I mean, you can put the IC title on him if you want to have him do another run. It depends on what you do with these belts. If they're truly unified, then I have them wait down the line a little bit. But if you're going to eventually split the titles back up, I feel like he needs to have something. He just, but I don't feel like he needs the title to be a big time player. Have him kind of play the role of an Edge in a way where Edge doesn't have to be in the title picture to be completely relevant because he's relevant. So have him in something like that. Jesse, not quite Undertaker dark. I mean dark in terms of like kind of almost like an assassin type where he's just like a mercenary. He's just out there for blood. He's out there to destroy, that kind of thing.
It's kind of almost where I was going with it too. I was kind of almost thinking like a spy movie, almost like Tenet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. C said 100% Drew is coming out during the show in Wales, UK, and beheading a dragon. James Grant says I would book him first as a guy who gets beaten down time after time by the Bloodline, and at WWE UK pay-per-view called Clash at the Castle, he beats Roman to win the Universal Championship. Conrad said I would do a double turn with Drew and Austin Theory, and this will all be about the proclamation of his McMahon gave both of them being the chosen one. Ooh, that's interesting. Take that dang sword away. Make Drew dress in black leather like he did as a heel in 2019 and lots of women. I can explain further, but in the end, it would be to turn Theory babyface and put Drew into one of the top heel spots. James tweeted us something. I'll check in a second. I would have changed Drew's feud with Sami Zayn being because Drew walked through a door that was a bit lame. Drew has proved he can carry a show and make him snarky heel side. Drew should be an absolute killing machine along the lines of 2000 Scott Steiner, lots of sexy dames. SmackDown 2009 Drew. Corporate Drew. Corporate's better than Corporate Gain. Oh, God. Solo, Cameron Grimes, and Carmelo for NXT North American Triple Threat. Joe Gacy versus Braun for a championship, says Sean Mercedes. Drew doesn't need a title. He's entertaining as hell. Drew on a gyrocopter. Drew back how he was during the Thunderdome. I'd like to see Drew team with Bailey. Oh, mixed tag, huh? Then we find out that Bray has been controlling him. You mean a heel type of role? A Highlander cow. I wasn't even thinking of Taker's Dark version with that. Like a cartel hitman. Yeah. I think that's something, something along those lines. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, there you go. And I do have to thank you guys because some of you have given us names for the future. I did see that on Twitter. I know Jeff saw it as well.
Mhm.
So we will be taking some of your suggestions for this segment in the future, and we will do that. So if you have any suggestions for who you would like us to book, drop a line here on the video, drop a line on Twitter, whatever it is you have, let us know, and we'll certainly take it into consideration for future shows. Which, by the way, if you're new to our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like of the video tonight before you leave. And also make sure you hit the notifications button so you know when we will have future content. Our schedule for this week, really quickly, of course, is Abby's tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Make sure you're here for that. Jeff and Jody back with us on Thursday for Impact Wrestling Go Home show for Under Siege. That starts at 7:45, and then of course after the Impact will be at 10:15, and that will be a prediction show for Under Siege. And then this coming weekend, Saturday, is going to be Under Siege. So the pay-per-view will be 7:45 p.m. Eastern time, and then Sunday Backlash will also be 7:45 Eastern time as well. So that is our schedule for the rest of the week. Okay. Next up, Jeff, I think we have our favorite moments of this week.
That is right. Favorite moments of the week.
And again, guys, play along in the chat. What were your top 3 things that you saw in all of those wrestling choices that are out there and everything you watched this past week? What were your top 3? Let us know. Jeff, what's your number 3?
All right, man. My number 3 moment of the week. I gotta say, seeing Ali back.
Great call.
That was a good moment for me. Whatever happened happened. You know, they must have worked something out behind the scenes, or whatever happened.
Yep.
We don't know, and we probably won't know until a long time from now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, seeing him back was really special.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm going in a similar direction, but I'm going to go with the other person that we saw back. And how cool of a moment was this? Asuka comes back to Raw, and Asuka booped Becky Lynch. Asuka booped. If you don't know what a boop is, she took her finger and just kind of snapped the end of her nose. And I even said on the thing, I said, now we could call her Boopy Lynch instead of Becky Lynch. Asuka's return. Really cool. Listen, when there's so much speculation going on and people start to wonder, well, where is she? Why isn't she coming back? What's going on? We knew she was injured, but everybody kind of thought, oh man, really hope that it's not going to be a situation where she's going to get released and stuff like that. And like Jeff was talking about with Ali, and how cool it was to see. And don't forget who attacked Ali too. Ciampa. Ali and Ciampa. Oh my gosh, give me that all day and twice on Tuesday. That's going to be an amazing program between those two people. And Asuka and Becky, same thing. I'm all for it. So 2 possibly really great matchups that we're going to get out of 2 people that returned. And don't be surprised if you don't see Bayley back very soon too. Could be maybe after Backlash, but don't be surprised if you see her coming back too, because they need some help on SmackDown now in the women's division. And she could maybe go after Charlotte, or maybe Alexa comes back on SmackDown and goes after Charlotte, because they've got a feud going on from before. So I think you'll see more people coming back soon too. All right, there are number 3s. Let me read a couple. Number 3, Morrissey possibly on AEW. Big Dan says Randy RKOing the world. Ali versus The Miz. Ciampa turning heel. Number 3 says James Grant says Morrissey. Alicia says Asuka. James says FTR match on Dynamite. Number 2, Hammerstone versus Mads Kruger versus Jacob Fatu on MLM. Teal Piper becoming ARW Women's Champion. Is that Roddy's daughter? Is that Roddy Piper's daughter? Or is that somebody different? I'm just thinking because of the name Piper. I know Roddy's daughter. Roddy has a daughter. I didn't know whether or not, or is that somebody else? I might be way off base. Jake something assigned. Yep, we did see that. Oscar, like the nose flick looks so good in slow-mo. It did. And they got good pictures of it too. Ciampa Judgment Day. Penta super kicking Ty Conti in the face, knocking her out cold. Twitter erupted. Scorpio Sky got a GoFundMe page for Penta as a thank you. The boop heard around the world. Yes, yes. Is that his daughter, James? That's amazing. I had no idea. Wow, that's really cool. Good for her. That's awesome. Oscar's return, Deanna on AEW, and FTR match on AEW. All right, Jeff, what was your number 2?
Number 2 moment of the week for me. Got to think about this one a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I'm going to give myself a little bit of credit.
I know where he's going.
No, I'm not going to do that. Not tonight. I'll wait until Thursday too. No, my number 2.
6 for 6.
Well, hey, I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky. My number 2 moment of the week has absolutely nothing to do with any particular wrestlers on the program and what they did. I'm just making this my number 2 because it would be too sappy to make it number 1 and someone would start cutting onions. But the fact that my kids have just jumped head first into loving wrestling, partly because of us doing this show and them being around and like, what's a podcast? They go from, what's a podcast to, hey, Dad, do you have a podcast tonight? Are you talking about wrestling again? And then now my son is like obsessed. And, I wanted to bring that up because I think a lot of times, and Azan said this to me this past week in a DM. He was talking about how sometimes it's just good to just enjoy wrestling and not worry about booking it, not worry about trying to predict the outcomes, just enjoying the wrestling. And seeing my kids be as passionate as they are about wrestling, it kind of adds another little spark to me, like it's like it's another little spark that, okay, like this is pretty cool. And they're just looking at it as Roman Reigns is my favorite because he's big and he's got these huge muscles and he can punch people and he's strong. He's the strongest person in the world. And then my daughter is obsessed with Bianca Belair because she wants to grow her hair that long now. And and my son made a comment today, and I'm gonna shut up now on this one because it really will be someone cutting onions. I don't know how much this means to other people, but my son said to me, "It's so cool to see wrestlers look like me," and that was like it came out of nowhere. He said it in a completely like in a mode where I don't even think he understood the gravity of what he said. But honestly, he said, "I'm so glad that there are wrestlers that look like me." That from a 6-year-old, that means a lot. So yeah, that's my number 2 moment of the week.
And that, folks, is how it should be. That's how it should be. That's what wrestling should be about. That's what got me started when I was a young kid and my dad used to take me to events. And now Jeff's doing it with his kids. That's how it should be. It doesn't need to be what it has become in some circles. It should be that simple. So what's the saying, Jeff? Out of the mouth of babes.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Good stuff. All right. My number 2. Well, my number 2, I'm going to have to go with Josh being challenged by Ishii at the end of his win over Moose. First of all, let me just give credit to both of those men, Moose and Josh. And this was brought up in several different wrestling publications and that we're talking about Impact, saying kudos to both of them because they literally didn't even have a 24-hour turnaround time from that match that they put on at the pay-per-view and then got into another one not less than 24 hours later, and hard-hitting as it was. So, and then of course you heard that Scott D'Amore is going to handpick an opponent for Josh. So there's all kind of rumors going around. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be? Who's going to be? And the fact that it was Ishii that appeared, and of course Jeff called it. That was 6 out of 6, by the way. That was 6 for 6. The call of Ishii at the end of that show. But yeah, the fact that now Josh is going to meet Ishii for that title as his first title defense. Man, first title defense. Boy, oh boy, talk about getting thrown right into the fire. Yeah, so that was a very cool moment and one of my favorite moments of the week. Let's see. Jeff can watch it from a kid's point of view without all the BS. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. That's very nice of you. Jeff and Joe, you guys are a blessing, and this generation's kids is a blessing. Just receive an update on what's next from Moose. Is suspected to show up at Impact Wrestling Under Siege. Rumor has it Moose will start a new feud with a mystery person. I can bet you I know who that mystery person might be. Not going to give it away. Not going to give it away, but I bet you I might know who it might be. That's the shit right there, Jeff. My grandfather got me into wrestling. I have so many fond memories of Saturday afternoons watching Mid-South with my grandfather in his easy chair. Yeah, see?
Mm-hmm.
That's simple. That's simple.
Yep.
Deanna says, kids. Conrad says, women's wrestling across all companies, number 1. 2, Triple Mania, and 3, tease of Morrissey for Dynamite. Des Hit Squad 2.0 was formed at Impact. I saw clips. I'll be back next Thursday. Also, Joe and Jeff. Jeff, cool. Josh's family being there when he won the championship. Is it Moose versus Jade? Let's hope not. All right, Jeff, what's your number 1, man?
Oh man, number 1. I'm gonna go here. I have to. You kind of brought it up there. Josh Alexander's reward for putting on. I'm looking at Jesse.
You know what, Jesse? The way you put that. I mean, I know what you meant because I'm sure it is hot temperature-wise down by you now because it was hot up here. It was like in the close to 70-something, almost 80. So I know exactly what you mean. My wife was carrying children when it was the summertime. So, but the way you put that, just the way you said it, I'm surprised C didn't jump on that. You guys can read her comment, and see, Jesse, that was funny. Like, I don't even, you didn't even mean that to be, but it was hilarious the way you said it. Good gosh, I'm hot by right now.
Oh boy, here he is. He's here. Early. So Mark got an early book a wrestler segment. This is an early Calynn corner heckling.
I knew it was coming. Jesse, you weren't hot before pregnancy. You're not now, and you won't be after. Ouch. Ouch. Poor Jesse. Oh my God. Gus says Edge and Priest promo. Madcap and Corbin promo. Oh, Madcap and Corbin. Yeah, they're going out having a nice little feud going, right? Jericho putting a fireball in Eddie K. Yeah, Jericho using the fireball. I made the joke to men on purpose. It's not that hot here. I'm just that hot. 100% meant it. Dax versus Cash. Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland. Okay, Jeff. Sorry to interrupt you. What was your number 1?
The rematch between Josh and Moose.
That's right.
I mean, they went out and put on a banger of a match at Rebellion, and then the next day, for people that people that aren't familiar with Impact does taping, and a lot of times they tape the next day after a pay-per-view, and that's what they did. And a day after the match that they put on, they went out there and put on another banger of a match Thursday night. So it's great stuff, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go a little different. While I agree with Jeff on that, that was absolutely an awesome moment. I'm going to go because I use this segment to do things for stuff that I kind of get excited about, mark out a little bit about. For me, seeing the good old run-in with when Roman and his boys are out there beating up on RK Bro. You don't see this as much anymore, and this gets people fired up and excited. And seeing who's going to come out, you knew there was going to be someone coming. You knew there's going to be somebody coming out. And Drew just finished up that whole feud with Sami Zayn, so you knew somebody was on the way. But you didn't quite know who, and you're thinking like, oh my gosh, when is somebody going to come? Someone's going to come and help. Who's it going to be? And then you know whoever is going to probably challenge Roman next. And when Drew came running out, or not running, he actually kind of stopped. Okay, when he came out and kind of went down to the ring, and the way he just threw Roman across the ring like a rag doll, it was pretty awesome. So for me, it was a little bit of a mark out moment, and it was cool because you have to kind of set somebody up with Roman now. You know, they've been kind of going a little ways without him. He hasn't been around for a little bit and kind of didn't know where it was going. But I think that was a cool moment. I think it was a cool moment. Something SmackDown, I think, needed, especially with the show the way it's been the last couple of weeks. So there you go. That was my number one. Family moments of the week. Josh and his son, Penta and his boy. Clay Lewis is talking all about Philadelphia teams. Clay, I refuse to read that. It makes me want to vomit, actually. Love how my own made-up humor is funnier than the stuff that I get from other sources, which, by the way, I got 9 tonight. We're almost there. There's a missed opportunity during AEW Impact thing last year of Don Callis giving away Impact results as an homage to Eric Bischoff during the Monday Night Wars. Just the guy's opinion. Like that Drew Moments and RK Shellsworth. I've been watching wrestling since I was a baby, watching it on the weekend. World of Sport, I think it was called, with Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. Damn. Let's get to drinks and popcorn for 9. Yes. Deanna, did you see Penta's little son in full Penta gear? And Brandon Lewis says Drew McIntyre. All right. So there you go. That is our top 3 moments of the week. And we are going on. We're moving on. And we're going to the lighter side of the ring. So while Jessie warms up with her 9, we will talk a little bit about what this guy's doing.
It's not Elias.
He's Elias's little brother. Damn it.
That's right. He's
Do
not
not
Elias.
call him Elias. Here's the thing, though. Boy, are they pushing this dude. I mean, he went from nowhere, obscurity almost, gets a character change, and he's wrestling with the hottest tag team on Raw. Wow. They could have put anybody in that triple threat, and they chose this guy. So, and Kevin Owens, the way Kevin Owens is putting him over is amazing. He's just getting totally frustrated with the dude. Totally frustrated. It's like, you are a liar. And he's just going to town on it. So this is fantastic. And again, good for him, man. We really thought he was out of wrestling. We figured he was gone. Everybody wrote him off. Like, oh man, he's gonna get released. But no. And he's all of a sudden in main event matches. And all it took was such a screwy little play on a name. I'm not Elias. I'm Ezekiel. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, Jeff. And good kudos to him, because some people now he always seemed to kind of have the humorous side, even when he was doing the musician part of it, because he had to be. He kind of had to be humorous there too. So he seems like he's got that gift where he can play that type of part. So I think he's doing a really good job.
He is, and this is fun. Like it's fun. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So enjoy it. It's meant to be enjoyed.
Yep.
folks. So yeah, he's doing a great job, and it just goes to show. I mean, he's always looked like $1,000,000 anyway.
Yep.
But now, he gets to do something a little bit different, which I'm enjoying.
Yep. Absolutely. And they have the perfect opponent for him. So, I hope you talked about Ezekiel and even Jeff, what you were talking about. You can show, but I can show you proof between the pictures, says Alicia. Who wants to speak with Zeke? All right, Jesse, it's all you. You're up with your 9. All right, we're at the moment of the show that we let up to Jesse Calynn, and it looks like her heckler is hanging around. So we may have some heckling going on tonight too with Jesse out there. So it is Comedy Corner, Calynn Corner, and we're off and running. Again, don't forget to join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For Abby's Window. That'll be Jeff and G.O.D. Come back on Thursday. Join us for Impact, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. That is a go-home show for Under Siege. Join us afterwards at 10:15 for our predictions for Under Siege. And then, of course, Saturday is Under Siege, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. That show will start. We'll do a watch-along for that, and we will be right back the next day on Sunday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time for a watch-along for Backlash. All right? C says, FK. I know what that means. 9. Is there not laws about this? Overexertion during pregnancy or something? Oh, man. Speaking of Ezekiel, I like Madcap Moss. Yeah. He's doing some funny stuff, too.
Yeah.
Jesse saying, I can't wait to get it back in shape as I was when I took that picture. Jesse, you got to be getting close to having your baby. It's got to be pretty close, I imagine. No, probably right around the corner. All right, Jesse, whenever you're ready, let it rip. Let her go. Well, I shouldn't say let it rip.
Don't let it rip.
Don't do that. Or maybe you would be. You mean square. You want to get into a square, Jesse. Shape. Oh, man, he's rolling tonight. C's rolling. I think Jesse's stopping on purpose, maybe, because she doesn't want to get these jokes out there and let him have at it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Come on, Jesse. We're ready to go. And I think C's ready to go, too. James said, oh, hell no, don't let it rip. Laughter is good for pregnancy. Also, I'm 37 weeks.
Wow.
Man. It's crazy. Crazy. It's coming soon. Soon. Thanks for coming out tonight and joining us. Here is number 1. Imagine if you walked into a bar and there was a long line of people waiting to hit you. That's the punchline.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Good start. He could have done a complete 360 and done something bigger than Elias, but he mellowed himself out, poked fun at himself, which is good. The CEOs, why would anyone walk into Sheamus and Cesaro? Oh my gosh. That's funny. That was good. The bar. I missed the bar. They were great. Speaking of which, where's Cesaro going to go? That's another guy we're wondering where he's going to end up. Surprised got almost kind of so. I wonder if his contract clause is.
His contract was up. He didn't have the 90 days.
All right, so he's a free agent, man.
Yeah.
No, Slammiversary is right around the corner.
Yeah, it is.
There's
number 2.
See, good one. Number 2. Dark humor is like food. Not everyone gets it.
Little dark. Little dark.
Starvation jokes from someone the size of Jesse. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
I might be going to the emergency room after this. I'm not joking right now. I'm serious. I have a pain in my stomach right now that is it's like a shooting pain.
That's
But
not good, dude.
it's not. It's not. I'll be fine. But
That's not good. C's gonna hit that one up.
yeah.
Why, number 3. Why don't skeletons ever go trick or treating? Because they have no body to go with. Very nice.
What?
Very nice. Womp womp. Oh my gosh. Want to hear one of the worst jokes ever? I don't think I ever told anybody this one, but my uncle, I had one of those weird uncles, don't we all, that used to say this joke to me every time he would see me. It's a knock knock joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Red. Red who? Red pepper. Ha ha. Ain't that a hot one? That was his joke every time he saw me. Every time. And Jessie just fills us in on her dumping habits.
Yeah. This ain't a. Well, we won't talk about the bodily function.
It's not a poop pain.
No, it's not a poop pain.
Jessie making a joke about insides when Jeff could be seriously ill. That's a bit harsh. Sorry for her blatant insensitivity, Jeff. Oh my God. Number 4. The cemetery is so crowded. How crowded is it? People are just dying to get in. You have to have the crowd in there doing that one. How crowded is it? Oh my gosh. Just to say, oh gosh, see. Oh man. Gotta love it. Got to love it.
We always have fun.
It really reminds me of the Muppet Show. It really does. Like when you have Statler and Waldorf up in the thing and they're constantly heckling the Muppets throughout the whole thing. C says, you can visit a cemetery, so that doesn't really work now, does it? Number 5. Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
Is this a Gilbert Godfrey too soon moment?
Ooh. People with COVID have no taste. Ooh.
That's a Gilbert Godfrey moment right there. It's like, wait, what? It's true. It's true.
That's like the Prince song right there. Controversy. That's okay.
Now that was dark.
Again, not all, Jesse. Come on. At least be factual and not spread that misinformation. James says that's dark humor, Jesse. That's dark humor. It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. Yes, I love the Muppet Show. Loved it. Loved it. Spent weekends over my grandparents watching that all the time. You know, it's funny. The original movie, the Muppet movie, there's a saying that I still say to this day from the end of that song, and Jim Henson wrote it, The Magic Store, the song that was at the end. And the quote is, life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. I love that quote. Love it. And it's part of the song. It's one of my favorite quotes ever. And I love it. I absolutely live my life by it. It's keep pretending, is have an imagination. And I absolutely love it. I wondered if it was too soon. Actually. Maybe a little. Maybe a little. Sure good. Number 6. I childproofed my house. Somehow they still got in. That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That was a good one.
Jesse's preparing for when the child comes. That's how she's going to handle it.
Yeah.
Kid gets on her nerves, just lock them out. Lock the doors. Oh, gosh. Bonus baby like that one. Number 7. My favorite Disney movie is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I love a hero with a twisted backstory. Good.
That's good right there.
C says, should have shut your front door then, Jesse. Oh my God.
Oh,
I just realized what that said when he just... Then your husband would have impregnated you and the child would never have been in your house to begin with. Well, I think we have a winner. I think we have a winner.
Well.
I think we have a...
Good.
I think we have a winner.
Good grief.
Oh my God.
I think I can go. I can officially go to this slide. I mean, that's where we are right now.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, that was a good one. Cool, like Emmett Otter's joke, but oh my God, I love that too. Emmett Otter, that's a great thing. My sister still watches it every single Christmas. OMG, this child is allowed. By God Almighty, damn, like that. C says bonus baby. I think C is now winning the night. Yeah. Oh God, so good.
Wow,
so good. Well, it's so funny. I think we have 2 more.
2 more.
Jesse, you have 2 more to win it. 2 more to win it. Oh,
this has become a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. We are going back and forth tonight. It's cool. The debate comedy segment. Gust is laughing. All right, here comes number 8. I heard Sony is coming out with a new video game console to help us get through the pandemic. It's called the Plague Station 5. Why do they have pictures of my puppet grandparents? All right, Erasure Mind. That was a good one. That was all right. That was all right. Statler and Waldorf with the one eyebrow. Love it. Love it. Oh, the Plague Station 5. All right, Jesse, you have 1 more. They would call it that. What happened to 1 to 4? Logic. Shrug.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. So funny. Jesse said, I think C got me beat. But hey, he's allowed to win every once in a while. Very true. Very true.
You got 1 more, right?
One left.
Be the
1 left.
Here we go.
Number 9. I started crying when Dad was cutting onions. Onions was such a good dog.
I don't know why that's funny, but it was. It's not funny, but it's funny.
Oh my gosh. That was horrible. I started crying with Dad. Oh. Every week you come out with this trash. James Chadwick gave that one a holy shit.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Oh goodness.
It was good though. Wow.
It was so bad that it was good.
It was. Poor Onions. He had such a good name. Oh, anyway. All right. We're going to let Jeff go because he may have a little bit of trouble. So we're going to let him go to the emergency room if he has to go to the emergency room.
I have to. I'm going to take some medication.
All righty. Well, there you go, guys. We're out of here. Thanks for joining us tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you all had fun. That is the name of the game. Hope you had a good time tonight. And hopefully we will see you all for Abby's Window tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Hopefully, we will see you all soon. Make sure you drop a like on the video for us before you leave. And of course, thanks to Jesse and thanks to C for the comedy end to the night. Have a great night, guys, and hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow for our next show. Take care, stay safe, and be kind to one another. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.